It is so nice to be enjoying fall right now. Let me tell you. Tell me where you're from, what you're drinking. I am on Vancouver Island. We just had a great little spell of actual fall weather, which is hilarious because I'm telling you, I have been this last winter just kicked my butt. I was hating the dark and well, I don't like the dark anyway, I'll be honest with you, but I was hating the lack of sunlight. And now I'm like, I want the sun to go away. Hello, Colleen. Good morning. Where are you from? What are you drinking? I am drinking a pumpkin chai tea from David's Tea. And it's funny, I was like obsessed with this stuff and literally buying kilograms a year. And now I am down to only really drinking it in the fall. We'll see. I was tired of it for a while. Megan, you're here. Coffee in Saskatchewan, 25 today. Wow. That is good. Hello, Tanya from Utah. I'm just going to put my hand lotion on. Lynette. Oh, hello, sweet Lynette. Oh, it's so nice to see everybody here. I love doing our lives and chatting. Last week we did a closet challenge. Let me know if you did that challenge and if you liked it. But I was live every day. Maybe people were like, oh, that was a lot of her. But it was so much fun. So much fun to chat with people every day. And I am just really enjoying like the coziness that fall brings. And I think there's something about, yeah, like winter, I just go like, oh, but fall, oh, what a great season. You know what movie I really want to watch is You've Got Mail. Such a good fall movie. Such a good fall movie. Let me know some of your favorite fall movies in the chat. Today we're going to talk about how to get unstuck when you're feeling stuck when it comes to decluttering. But just while we're waiting for people to arrive, I'm going to tell you some of my favorites. So You've Got Mail, of course. I love Sleepy Hollow. It's a very good fall movie and also a very good Halloween movie. Megan loves newly sharpened pencils. That's right. And he talks about that in that movie. Oceanside, California, moringa tea. I have not had it. Is it good? I've used moringa like lotion and stuff. And I'm actually going to make my own body butter. I bought shea butter. So that just reminded me because moringa is something else people use. Hello, Kelsey's here. More tea, please. Good morning. Good morning. I was just chatting about favorite fall movies while people are arriving. And of course, like anything Halloween, especially like the classics, like, of course, like Charlie Brown. Love it. And, I really like Meet the Parents even for Halloween. Yes, You've Got Mayor. So it's such a good movie. Missouri, hello. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Let's chat about, and you can also bring your questions too. I just sort of like announced this last minute that I was going to do this live because I'm taking my mom to Victoria, which is on the same, like I live on Vancouver Island. I'm taking her tomorrow overnight. We're staying with my great aunt. And so I wouldn't be able to do the live. So I am just gonna do it today because I thought fall, you guys know I love fall so much and I love Christmas and all of that. And so I thought, let's get into the habit of starting fall again. So, or like our lives, because in the summer, everybody's busy. I'm busy, like I'm like busy out in the garden. And I'm going to tell you, if you garden, now, speaking of decluttering, is a great time to start tidying it up a little bit. But they say to leave a few plants in there. Well, they say to leave a lot of plants in there, but let's be honest. My garden is now in my front yard because that's where the sun is. I live on the side of the mountain. We actually lose the sun 2 hours before the rest of the city. So I really need it in like a prominent spot, but I'm not going to leave it super messy. And it felt so good to get in there. Just the other day, I harvested the rest of my green beans and I just pulled out those green beans and I was like, this feels amazing. So just something really nice about tidying up for fall. And that's why I wanted to do that closet clean out challenge, because it's also a great time to like look at your wardrobe. So if you guys like that, I will probably do that next year too. I had a great time. Okay. Oh, yes. Megan says she covers her garden with yard leaves by the spring. Yes, it is so good. And I don't have many deciduous leaves on our property because like there's just so many evergreens. But I do have a friend who gave me leaves once. A lot of them had like some of the seeds in them and they germinated, which wasn't like the end of the world. So I might do something like that too. Thanks for reminding me of that. And I am sorry that you had COVID last week, Sherry. One of my declutter coaching clients, she also is just getting over COVID too. And I tell you, it really does take the wind out of your sails. That's for sure. That is for sure. And I have my blanket here. I have my heater and my tea, because this office for some reason gets like chilly. Even if we have our fire going, it still can be. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to start the fire. And the funny thing is, you want me to do it again. You'd love to participate, right? Because you couldn't. I showed the bat. Let me see if I have the bat on here still. What's going on here? Design. There we go. We had a bat in our fireplace a couple months ago.
Isn't that awesome? That's so cool.
Isn't that adorable? That cute little bat. But anyway, bats can carry rabies. And somebody from nearby, a young man, actually died of rabies a few years ago. So we were very careful. But my husband, he wants to sweep the fireplace. He's got some tool. But last year when he went to do it, a bat flew out because we put the bat house on the fireplace. And my husband's like, we probably shouldn't have put it there. We weren't sure where to put it. We wanted a bat house. And so he's really afraid that the bats are going to freak out if he goes to clean it. So we'll see. But I don't know. Anybody who has advice on what to do, please let me know. Okay. So what else was I going to say? If I talked about something and didn't continue, I'm sorry. But yes, our bat's adorable. Yeah, we could have put it on a tree, but then we would have had to limb a bunch of the trees because the trees are like they're evergreen, right? So they're just covered in branches and they're very lush and they're evergreen. They've always got stuff on them. So now wasn't there something I was going to say? I don't remember. Oh, thank you. Bat Conservation International. I am going to look that up. I'm just putting that on there. Okay. Let's talk about when we get stuck. So often people, they start decluttering and they end up getting stuck. So I've got a couple of tips for you. Number one, visualize your ideal space. Now, if you were in the closet challenge last week, we did a train ride where we went and visited our future closet just to see what it looked like, how it felt, and all of that. And that is just such a great thing to do whenever you are thinking of decluttering. Another thing, so this is like, say you're stuck and you're just like, oh, like I can't bring myself to do this. Like maybe you're struggling to get the momentum going, or you're just sort of like, I don't know where to start. So visualize your ideal space. And then maybe something will come to mind where you're like, okay, I think I'm going to start here. Another great idea, and what's really good is if you can like write down what you see, it's super helpful. And I love taking people through these visualizations. Another thing you can do, set a timer and make it a game. So one of the things I love to do, I am a short, not athletic girl. So in high school, whenever it was time to do sports, number one, I always got picked last. Like, why would you want me on your team? But also, um, I, since being an adult, really enjoy working out and exercising, and I like to compete against myself. So, what I do is I will set a timer for like 5 minutes and see how much I can get done. Or if you feel like going longer, but it's so fun. And that's a really good way to kind of like jumpstart yourself back into it. Like just even like 5 minutes. And then you might be like, oh, I'm going to keep going. So you can continue to do that. That is a really good thing that you can do if you are feeling stuck. So visualize your ideal space and set a timer. Hello, Donine. Another thing you can do is limit decision making time. Me too. Limit decision making time. So indecision can just be a major, major, major roadblock for a lot of us. And we're just like, I don't know what to do. So what you could do, like keeping with the game theme, is you could say, okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to like pick up an item and be like, all right, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with this. And I'm going to, like John, the minimal mom says, like, if it's not an immediate yes, it's a no. So some people that really struggle with, oh, I leave that up there. Some people, they really struggle with just sort of like making decisions at all. So you could say, all right, I have to decide within 10 seconds. And if you can't, then what you could do is say, like, I'm going to pass, but try really hard to just decide within 10 seconds. If you can't, set it aside, move on to the next item. And then hopefully in time, you really get that decluttering muscle going. Like that's like one of my favorite things is once we do this regularly, we can really get good at decluttering on a quicker basis. And then another good thing is when you have the goals about your house. So you might be like, oh, well, I'm going to get my living room decluttered in one day. Well, what you could do is set that goal in half. So 2 days, right? Kind of makes sense. Or you could say, instead of being like, I'm going to declutter my armoire and my office today. Well, cut that goal in half. So instead, say, I'm going to just declutter my armoire today. What you're doing is you are making things a lot more, you're setting yourself up for more success. And the more success we have, the better we feel in all areas of life, but in particular in that area where we are experiencing that success, like with decluttering. So if you say to yourself, like, dang it, I am like serious about getting this decluttering done. I am tired of having things done. Or I'm tired of having like my house cluttered, then you can just say, like, I am going to work on this, but just be reasonable so that you have success, so that you're not like, oh, like I failed again. Because when we fail, that can really impact us and make us feel dejected and like we just don't want to continue doing it again, and that can just throw it off, and that's how you get stuck. So if we're talking about getting unstuck, that's something you can do. So visualize your ideal space, set a timer and make a game of it. Hello, everybody. Limit your decision making time. So just say, like, I'm going to decide within 10 seconds. If you can't, set it aside and then come back to those things later. Cut your goal in half or double the time you expect to do it. And I'm like, I'm going to get to this in a second, but quite often people, they're decluttering their house for years. No, you're not. You're not decluttering your house for years. You're slowly chipping away at something and you're not actually getting it done. And for today, I don't want to overload you with tips, but also I really want you to celebrate your progress. Now, for me, you guys know me. often I am just celebrating with a cup of tea. And I am the type of person where I will be like, yay, I did it. I have that sense of satisfaction. My husband, he has ADHD as well. But for him, he doesn't often get like a sense of satisfaction. Like he'll do something, I'll be like, don't you feel great? Doesn't that feel like amazing to have that done? And he'll be like, not really. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So like my lips feel dry and I cannot find my Vaseline. But anyway, but regardless, celebrate your success. Celebrate it. Megan says she is guilty of doing that too long. And if you feel like you continually are getting hung up with your decluttering and like it's just taking so long, you might have a mindset problem. And that is exactly what I am so passionate with helping people with right now. And people sometimes they're spending years decluttering and they say like, oh, I'm just decluttering, oh, I'm just gonna spend, like, no, like, don't you want to like get it done, um when it could be accomplished in weeks or maybe even a couple of months, like depending on what is going on in your life and how much clutter you have. And for those people, quite often when it takes a long time, something is stopping them. Maybe it's a belief. So I've talked about this before. Like my dad, he always said, like, I am the keeper of stuff. Stuff, it just comes to me and I am the keeper of it. So that was one of his beliefs. Um, and or like, and so if that's your belief and you're trying to declutter, how successful are you going to be? Right? Um, or you had lessons from your family. So one of my past clients, she learned that like you keep everything, like her mom kept hummus containers from Costco because she was like, I could use this for something. So if that is where you came from, are you going to find it easy or hard to declutter? And then like when my mom said she was taught like you keep things for good. My grandparents grew up during the Depression. And my mom's her parents were really poor when she was a kid. And so why would she be comfortable decluttering things? Like, of course, she's going to continue to run into these roadblocks. And then, of course, like habits. What kind of habits do we have? For me, um, I just realized this, pardon me, when my son moved away and I was feeling sad one day and I was like, let's go shopping. I was like, actually, no, not let's go shopping. I don't like to go shopping, but I was like opening up my iPad and looking at Lululemon. And so if those are things that are holding you back, like how do you overcome that? And because when you're going to declutter, there's a powerful force that is stopping you, like something deep in it's your subconscious. Your subconscious will do whatever it can to sabotage you because it wants you to be safe. So if you had lessons from your parents, what do you think your subconscious thinks will keep you safe? Getting rid of your stuff or keeping your stuff because your parents taught you that it was important to keep things? Because a lot of people, they grew up during different times. So that's a serious problem for a lot of people. And you can't declutter your house if you don't deal with these things, and your own brain won't let you do that. And so I will tell you today, I have a new membership open. It's called Untangled, and it is only open until Thursday for a very good introductory price because I wanted to offer it to you guys first. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention it during our live today. And the new part of this membership, it's a brand new membership, but the new part that I'll be delivering live is about the mindset, how to overcome those things like the beliefs and the habits and the lessons from our parents. And I'm just put it on for $11 a month right now, and you get to keep that rate. If I were to sell this separately, I probably would price it at least 200, but I wanted to give it to you guys for that, for just 11, and then it's probably going to double because I have to raise the price next time. I have to cover the overhead. There's platforms and things like that. And if you want to change your life, this is how you do it. And of course, after the mindset phase, there is the action phase and the momentum phase. And this is all just in a membership. I want to make it as inexpensive as possible. So let's get to the comments. I would just want to let you know about that before we finish. And I will put it in here and put it on the screen. That's how you sign up. I want to let you guys know that's available until Thursday at the special introductory price. So, KD Minimal says if it's not a yes, it is a no. And that has helped her hugely. That is so good. And thank you. You are so sweet. Oh my gosh. And people from Germany are here. I love it. And Vanessa says, I pretty much set small goals every day to not get overwhelmed. And this is how I have a full life. Yes. You know what? Setting small goals is good. And you made it to a music festival. Yay. And I think that's good, like setting small goals. But the thing is, if you're consistently doing that, and when I talk about momentum, like in my membership, the maintenance phase, it involves like the shopping and things like that. If you're working consistently at something every day, like say for half an hour a day for a year, 365 days a year, like just say you didn't miss one. Or say you missed 5, just so I can do the math easily, but that would be like what, 720, no, whatever half of 365 is. I was anyway. I cannot do on the spot math. 180 something hours. Can you imagine of decluttering? You would get so much done if you were just consistent. And I love that. But you do have to overcome those mindset things that are keeping you stuck. And yes, you can have it all, just not at the same time. And good job, Donine. I am just going to have a drink here. Secondhand sentiment. Oh my gosh, Sane. I wish I knew how to say your name because you are wonderful and you come to a lot of things. Secondhand sentimental stuff is not sentimental to you. So you don't need to keep it. Your aunt's this, your grandma's that. It's not sentimental to you. Let it go. Right. And I think we really need, and this is another big thing that I really want to tackle. What is it that is like sentimental, like truly sentimental to you? Like every single thing we have, like if you're like me, I have a good memory for certain things, and I will remember, like I will place meaning on every single thing. I will say like this kind of candle my sister-in-law Colette told me about, they're wonderful, and I bought it, and we both bought the same kind this fall. And so like, what can I do? I mean, of course, like the good thing with the candle is I'm going to burn it all away. I love it. I'm 2/3 down, but I can add meaning and value to anything. So how do you take that away? And how do you differentiate between what is actually a sentimental thing and what isn't? Because so many things are mental. Like this picture of my husband and my boys, is that picture sentimental? Yes, of course it is. Good news is I also have a digital copy, right? Okay. Do you have a small preview? Okay, on my website, there is a video that shows you a little bit, and I also will be showing inside. Let me see. So you know what? I actually could. Let me log in and show you what it looks like inside of Untangled. Why the heck not? Since I figured out how to share my screen last week. Okay. What's it say? Is it this one? Whoops. Nope. Stand by. Okay, it's the one that says home. There we go. Okay. Let me show you inside. This is just the platform. The other thing about the membership is there's a Facebook group and I am delivering the mindset part live. So when you come in, this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see my mouse moving around. And then there's a calendar that will show you when because I'm delivering mindset live. So it shows you when they're live, just not like the Canadian Thanksgiving. Plus I'm going to a concert in Vancouver. In a couple weeks, so not then. Community, this is the link to the Facebook page. And then there's a welcome video you can watch. And then this roadmap you can download, which will show you. Oh, is that showing that? No. Anyway, it will show you where to start. And then the mindset phase, where these are the dates. So the 1st, the 10th. I don't think I think I maybe missed a day. But anyway, all of this. Maybe I decided not to take Thanksgiving off. I can't remember. And then the action phase. So once you do the mindset phase, you can go to the action phase. And this is it. Like you start here. It shows you like where to get started, how to tackle common rooms, how to tackle the harder rooms. And this is all just $11 a month because I want to get people in as this mindset phase is being built, and then you get to keep that price because I do have to raise it. Like this platform costs me money, which is I'm happy for because this was so fun to build, you guys. And then the momentum phase, which I've got some videos there. And then I also have what happens when I click on this? I almost feel like I didn't build that out properly. Oh, okay. I can't even remember. Purchases, how to buy things, maintenance, minimalism moving forward. And then down here, 31 days. So this is like if you need to do a quick reset. And then I can't remember what that is. And then I've got bonuses. I wasn't going to show the bonuses, but I guess I am right now. And then all of these. So there you go. This is inside the platform. So if you want to sign up, do it before Thursday. Well, Thursday at 8. You got me face purple crying. Okay. And don't keep negative sentimental stuff. Thank you, Megan. I agree. It is so true. Laura says, I feel like I have been decluttering for years, but still feel like I can't get my life together. Yes. Babies moving, now homeschooling, so much new stuff. Yes. So it's like figuring out what stuff are you going to keep? Like what is essential to living? And I mean, see, for me, I consider myself like a minimalist in a lot of areas. I wouldn't necessarily say if you were, and I have showed my kitchen, but if you were to look at like my small appliances, I have 2 instant pots right now. And that's because I make broth. Although I think I might sell the big one now because I started making broth in a roaster and it's amazing. But it's so I have things some people might be like, well, that's clutter, like a pasta maker. I love making homemade pasta, right? Like this is something that really enriches my life. Yeah, you keep the price indefinitely unless you cancel. You keep it forever. That's why I was like, people need to sign up now if they want to, because the price will go up the next time I open the doors, but you get to keep it now. That makes a lot about sense of what you say about your unconscious. Yes, like your unconscious wants you to be safe. It wants you to so desperately just stay because your unconscious feels like the status quo is where we're safe. And why wouldn't it? Because your subconscious is looking around and saying like, I have food, I have shelter, I don't want to change anything. So when you start changing things, I don't know about you, but for me, when I start changing things, I start getting like a ooh kind of feeling. And it's sort of like telling the difference between that like feeling and actual threat that can be a challenge. But I know that when my environment is supporting me and I have decluttered, that I'm making a good decision, right? So it's fighting against yourself, but in a good way. I'm glad it looks good, Annalie. I declutter so much. I have no winter coats. Today, my husband asked for a new winter coat, but he has 3 old ones. What is a nice way of telling him to declutter first? Um, or he can choose my new one. You know what I would do is I would get the 3 of them out and I would be like, he wants a new one? I'd say, would you like to declutter any of these before you get a new one? Right? Like which one or two of would you like to replace a couple of these with a new one? Something like that. I think I would do. Because with relationships, it's a little bit complicated. And that is one thing I will be doing in the membership as well, as having like occasional, this is a little sneak peek. I wasn't going to tell people this, but like little workshops. And I will have Lindsay come in and she's going to chat with people. Like they can ask their questions. But I would, it's hard, right? Like it's a bit of a dance. You have to not be overbearing, which is a huge problem for me to struggle with. And you want to make sure that you're like supporting them, you know. I struggle with stuff I've got to be used later, like future dreams, but I never do. So in that situation, it's nice to set a time limit. And also, I think the biggest thing is like being honest with yourself. Are you being honest with yourself? Um, are you really going to do those things? And if you are going to start making a plan, like what is step 1 of that plan? Okay, I'm going to turn off my heater now. Right? Like what's step 1 of that plan? What would step 2 look like? Right? And then imagine how nice it would be to do that thing. Now I feel like I was yelling. I'd love to know how you do your broth. Okay. Okay. So I got a roaster oven on Facebook Marketplace. Now, you know, this is one of the things I talk about all the time, but in the membership as well, when buying things, is like, where are you going to put it? And are you going to use it? So I bought this roaster oven because all these homesteading YouTubers I watch, they make their tomato sauce in them. So, and also Becky from Acre Homestead, who I love, she was making broth in hers. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try that. So what I did in a pot, a separate pot, I cooked up some mirepoix, onions, carrots, and celery, cooked that up really nicely, browned it nicely, and then I added it to the roaster oven and just threw in a bunch of chicken bones and carcasses and water, and then I brought it up to a higher temperature, and then I lowered it and let it simmer overnight, and it was so much better than the Instant Pot kind, I have to say. That is how you have a roaster too. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to keep that roaster, but I did. I have a spot with all of my canning stuff downstairs. So far I am definitely gonna keep it. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know whether to scream, cry, or just forget. Yeah. So if you're overwhelmed, you gotta have a plan. You gotta know where to start. What's a good place to start, and can you just start small? And just starting is often like such a great thing you can do. And you can join me in the membership. I will tell you how. KD minimally. I have had some childhood issues that make my I'm not safe alarm go off. Yes. That is so good. And I'm glad that you're aware of that when you start to feel threatened. Yes, I am so bad at good change. Good change makes me it's the same. I don't have like safety issues from childhood, but I do have I do have issues. So I totally understand. And so it's like, how do we overcome that? What are like a few little things we can do? And if you were in the closet decluttering challenge, like the train ride we went on, the visualization, lots of that, because visualization is a really good way to show your unconscious, your subconscious, that things are happening and that it's safe and that it's good. That is one of my very favorite things. Oh my gosh, you do not want to see this kid's room in college. He's a messy kid. Like he just is. He was sick, and he's actually been sick twice now since school started. And we're like, I hope you're keeping your room clean for your roommate. Oops. And Lisa says, I'm going to try this, which is awesome. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Decluttering questions, questions about Untangled. I am here for all of it. My husband is sleeping upstairs. So what else am I going to do? Hmm. I am just itching to check out this bat website so he can clean the fireplace, actually. Oh, well, I'm so glad you guys joined me for this live since I made it on a Tuesday. So rare, but not bad. How did you come up with the name Untangled? On the website, I'm going to put that up again. I realized I didn't really explain that, and I should have. And the point is, it's untangling those beliefs, the beliefs that we have, the beliefs and the habits and the lessons from family, all of that, untangling all of that in your brain. So it is just beautiful, like a nice ball of yarn. So your brain is able to allow you to do things and you have good beliefs and you understand like a belief instead of a belief like my dad had like of oh I'm the keeper of things or if you think like I can't declutter anything, what's a good belief to have around stuff and decluttering? A good thing would be to say like I keep things that are serving me, I keep things that help me, and it's okay to declutter things that don't serve me. Those are good beliefs. So that is where I came up with the name Untangled. Let's see. Hello from Athens. And Kirsty, you stayed up. It's 2 a.m. in Australia. It's been great. My first live. I've actually made it too. Oh my gosh, you made it. That's so awesome. I love it. Um, yeah, I love doing the live stream. So that's why I was like, I need to move it, even because I was not sure. I almost did a live stream at like 2 p.m. on Thursday, and I just don't think that would work for a lot of people. Hello from Hampshire, England. So fun. I just love seeing people here from all over the world. We have somebody from Australia and somebody from England. How cool. And then I have somebody here from Denmark, and quite often Anita shows up, and always lots of Canadians and Americans. So fun. I don't see any other questions before we go. And I'm so glad that you guys came. Hello, Diane. You're here. You have to watch it from the beginning. All right, everybody. I am going to actually phone my mom and discuss our plans and then check out the BAT website. So thank you so much for coming. This was so fun. Check out Untangled. This is the only time it'll be $11. And I will see you next time.